We've been talking to you for the last couple of days about Rally Australia coming to town, of course, on the 20th to the 24th, and a lot of the drivers have come into Perth already, getting all set for the action. One of them is Robert Herridge. Welcome to the show, Robert.
Thank you very much.
Can I call you Rob?
Yes, you can.
OK. Well, first of all, why do people actually sort of come in early?
They come in early to get their cars ready. They deposit them all around Perth in different garages and workshops, and many mechanics work on the cars, but mainly to drive over the course and make as many notes as they can about the course. This international rally is one of the very few rallies in Australia where we're allowed to drive on the course.
I see. That's a bit of a bonus, isn't it?
It is a bit of a bonus. It's not so good for West Australians because we don't have any home ground advantage. So
yeah, true.
All the other drivers get to drive on the course, make as many notes as they like, and that enables them to go much faster.
Of course, you're a local boy from Northern.
That's right, yeah.
Now, scrutineering is something else that happens early. What's that?
Yeah, scrutineering, a funny sort of a word, but basically it means the cars are checked over to make sure they're legal for the road and for the competition. They must abide by all sorts of stringent rules, as must any racing car, really. And they're checked out before the event to make sure they're legal in both requirements.
Right, and that's actually happening in public as well in Forest Place, I believe.
Yes, most of the times this is something that's held locked away in a big tent and it's all very secretive, but this year it's open to the public, so it'd be a good opportunity for everyone to get down and see the cars with the bonnets up and the doors open and people climbing all over them.
That's in Forest Place if you want to go along and see that. Now, we've got some highlights of last year's Rally Australia, which is pretty exciting. Let's take a look at some of that fast action there. Now, I notice in a rally car there are actually two people. Why is that?
Well, in actual fact, you obviously have the driver who sits behind the steering wheel, and nowadays it's called a co-driver, not so much a navigator. The co-driver sits where the navigator used to sit, and his main requirement is to help the driver go fast. He calls instructions back to the driver. This is instructions that they've driven over the course and made for themselves, and he just calls the information to the driver to help him go fast the whole time.
Now, there are a number of different legs in the Commonwealth Bank Rally Australia. How do you win each event?
Well, basically, there's only one event. There is only the one Commonwealth Bank Rally Australia.
Legs.
Yeah, different legs have basically nothing to do with an overall type of rally. It's similar to a game of golf. The bloke with the lowest score at the end, i.e. the shortest time to covering all the legs, wins the event. There's no such thing as on time, early, winner of the first leg. That doesn't come into
I see. So you're just timed for each leg?
But you're timed for each special stage, and there's about 40 special stages.
How many teams are competing?
Approximately 60 or 70, I think nearly 70.
Wow. And those teams sometimes have crews of up to 60 people, I was reading.
Well, some of the very best teams have crews of 50 and 60 people, which include team doctors and masseurs and cooks and mechanics, and yeah, be lucky, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and where's your cook, huh? That side?
My cook's at home.
What sort of skills does it take to be a good rally driver?
I think there's no real young rally drivers. A lot of people, when they're young, get enthused and want to drive cars fast, and you obviously must be able to drive cars fast, so you must have very good reflexes. Most people are fairly fit, and it takes actually a mature mind because you have to temper the enthusiasm with a little bit of
still keep it under control.
Yeah.
Now, you're the WA champion at the moment.
I was the 1988 West Australian champion, and I'm currently leading this year's championship.
Good one. Now, what skills would it take, say, well, for you when you first started? Did you have to do anything special?
I don't think so. I think the biggest skill is just to be keen and dedicated, and just apply yourself like any sport. You just have to apply yourself, and eventually the people with the right skills will emerge somewhere near the top.
Right. Now, this car is very impressive. On the inside, it looks a little bit different to a conventional car, even though on the outside it looks similar to some of the cars you see on the road. Let's have a look at some of the inside special features. I know you spent a lot of money for the car, and you didn't even get carpets with it. No,
well, actually, very much a standard car when we buy the car, and of course anything that's not needed for rallying is taken out, like carpets and extra trim, and obviously the radios and air conditioners and...
Yeah, so what are some of the special features we can see there?
Some of the special seat features are the very lightweight and supportive seats. They enable us to remain very much locked into the car, and the full harnesses that go with them. In actual fact, you could roll this car end for end down the road and still remain quite secure.
Which you've done, yeah.
We're actually not talking that much about that. It's only just come out of the panel beaters, so don't worry, kids, we're not likely to do it again.
No, they are very, very safe. We'll tell you about some of the special safety features. But on the navigator side, I notice it's also very interesting because a lot of the features that are normally found on the driver's side, you've swapped over, like some of the gauges and things.
Exactly right. Most of the gauges just tell you about what's happening with the engine. And the reason that is because even though the navigator doesn't have, or the co-driver doesn't have much time to look at gauges, he has more time than the driver.
Yeah,
and
you've got to keep your eyes on the road.
Basically, we can't afford to take our eyes off the road.
And you've also got little features there that tell you how far you've gone and give
That's
you
right.
coordinates.
It's very similar to the speedo on a car, but much more accurate.
Right.
So the co-driver must monitor those all the time.
Yeah. Now, safety, of course, is very important in the rally cars. And you've got a lot of features in there too, like a roll bar.
Oh, yes, a very comprehensive roll cage, as you can see. It's made out of special lightweight steel, but it encompasses the whole car so that if the car was to turn over or run into something, very, very unlikely that the car would crush down on the occupants.
Right.
So a very important feature, and all rally cars will have that.
And also the fire extinguishers, I noticed you've got quite a few of those.
Yeah, it's actually almost like a mobile fire engine, isn't it?
Yeah, it does look a bit like it.
One of the requirements is that the fire extinguishers must be located and must be able to be operated by the driver or navigator, and must be able to be operated from outside the car, so they have remote switches all over the car.
Good one, so it's very, very safe.
Very safe.
Now, we're going to be telling you in just a few seconds how you can actually get a chance to ride in a rally car. But a lot of the people who are sort of thinking about going to see the rally, what can they look forward to seeing? Well,
obviously they can look forward to seeing a lot of action, and I think, as the advertisements say, it's all action. The speeds that these cars will reach on the closed competitive roads are quite phenomenal. And obviously a lot of mud and dust flying, and a terrible amount to see if only they take the opportunity to go out in the forest.
That's great. And also kids under 15 get in for free if accompanied by an adult, which is good.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
But one person is going to get to drive next to you for free, not in the actual rally, but to experience almost rally conditions inside the car, racing along there with you. And what you can do if you'd like to ride alongside Rob in this very same rally car is send into Kids Company, right to the Rally Australia competition. Kids Company, Post Office Box 422, Mirrabooka, Western Australia 6061. Put your name, age and address on the back and you could be riding alongside Rob. That'll be pretty exciting.
Yeah, and we look forward to it, so they'll get to experience, in actual fact, what happens in a rally car on a rally stage.
That's great. Thank you very much for coming in, Rob. It's been
Thanks
very
much for the opportunity.
And don't forget Rally Australia, the 20th to the 24th of this month. Should be really exciting. More Kids Company coming up next.
A great competition with Rally Australia, yes. And next up, the SFL scene. Don't miss it.